So here I am, age 26, and about to find out if I have adult ADD. How did I end up at this point? Do you start projects, but never really get around to finishing them? Do you avoid mentally strenuous exercises? Do you have trouble meeting deadlines? Are you chronically late? Are you easily distracted? I started to see a lot of these traits in myself, but like a lot of people, I had trouble seeing ADD as a real disorder.
Are you late to work? You have trouble getting stuff done? Total bullshit. Can I say that? I mean, that happens to everyone. I mean, if we want to go that route, then all of us would have like some sort of disorder.
I felt like if I just tried harder and put my mind to it, I should be able to overcome these bad habits. So that's where I got the idea for this video. I went out and I interviewed a lot of people, many of whom shared my skepticism of ADD.
You gotta teach yourself, you gotta read, you gotta push yourself to get over it.
But then I met Gabe, and what he had to say changed how I looked at the disorder.
That it's defined as a disorder when those symptoms, despite one's best efforts, disable that person. In other words, significantly interfere with that person's life. In my case, it caused poor grades, which caused depression, and it would have been just a downward spiral from there. And the medicine literally enabled me to continue my life.
So once I heard this, it made me want to reevaluate my own situation. I'm an aspiring filmmaker, so let me give you a glimpse into my head. I sit down to write or edit, and as soon as things get a little difficult, the next thing I know, I'm getting distracted by the most random thing. We all do this, right? I did it in high school and college and got by quite well. But now that I'm in the professional world, wait, why am I dancing with the cat? It has caused me to miss a lot of opportunities and burn a lot of bridges because I can't focus, I can't see the big picture, and I can't finish any project. I started this project in June, and now 3 months later had gotten nowhere. I had originally set out to show that people could get over this if they just tried harder, but I couldn't even get my own act together. I was frustrated and not making any progress. It was time for me to rethink my skepticism and go get tested. So I contacted the local specialist, but before I went to my appointment, I and someone close to me, my girlfriend Stacy, had to fill out a survey to rate my ADD and ADHD-like behaviors.
There's a lot of the stuff that frustrates me about you, and you know, this has all kind of summed it up nicely for me. When I actually sit here and go through these papers and have to go through this checklist, I mean, the more I do this, the more I really do become convinced that he has ADD.
Then it was time for the mind games to begin. I had an appointment at the learning gym where a technician would put my brain through an intensive workout.
I'm Anastasia. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Good. Very fine, thank you.
Good.
This is where we'll be working. And the first thing I want you to do is to draw me a picture of a house.
After completing my architectural masterpiece, it was visual response test time. So for 20 long minutes, I had to sit in front of this computer screen and press the button whenever a specific image flashed on screen. And then back to the drawing board. This time, a tree.
Okay, so how old is the tree?
This tree is hundreds of years old. It's a very old tree, very similar to like a bonsai tree, like in The Karate Kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like on the cliff. It's like survived in this like rough terrain.
And anything you don't like?
No, nobody can really enjoy it that it's up there. See its like beauty. It's kind of like isolated by itself. Then it was back to the computer for another 20 minutes for the audio portion of the test. And finally, to complete the test, one last drawing. This time, I had to draw a person. His name is Mr. Crayon, right?
Right.
Okay. He likes spreading his joy of color with everyone else. It's like a rainbow. Like, he just like brings brightness to it.
Anything you don't like about it?
He is made of wax, so he can't be out in the sun for an extended period of time, so he does have to stay indoors. Thus concluded my testing, and it immediately made me start thinking about what this all meant. I guess, in a way, I would hope it's ADD for I have an excuse, so it's justifiable.
In a way, I'm almost hoping for the ADD diagnosis because then it's less of a character flaw, I guess. It's less of something that he should be able to just conquer on his own.
If it's not ADD, then I have a lot of like personal work to do. So it all comes down to this. Could the tests, questionnaires, and my drawings actually determine whether I have a medical disorder? Well, I'm about to find out. Dr. Valerie Maxwell, who graciously donated her services, thoroughly and thoughtfully went over all the data that was collected.
So, checklists are a dime a dozen. The reason we still use these is because 75% of the time they predict these scores.
The 20-minute long tests actually recorded a lot of interesting information about my behaviors, like my attention span, impulsivity, consistency, and response time, which are the core behaviors of ADD.
If I have the checklist that's positive, and I know that you're bright, and I see these very low scores, then I know there's some kind of ADD.
What? Did I hear her correctly? There's a possibility that I have ADD?
Adam, you don't have a mild case of ADD.
What?
You don't even have a moderate case.
Oh no.
You have a pretty severe case.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Now that I know what the tests proved, we moved on to the more important analysis. My drawings.
I've been reading these pictures for over 26 years. And I think I'm pretty good at it.
Okay.
But it's just interpretation. I dislike that it's made of wax, can't go out in the sun much, gets obnoxious, writes on walls. Okay. Let me be a psychologist. This is, you don't like your ADD. You don't like your ADD when it melts you. You don't like your ADD when it limits you. You want to be able to be outside, inside, everywhere. Adam, I have never in 26 years seen a tree like this.
Is that a good thing or bad thing?
Well, first of all, I think you're going to very high heights in your life.
Oh, thank you.
I think you're destined to climb a mountain that looks insurmountable.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to really talk to you about diet, and I want to talk to you about medication, because I think it's going to change your life.
Things didn't turn out quite like I envisioned. But I guess when you're given the opportunity to take a step back and examine yourself, like this video forced me to do, you are granted the opportunity to see the big picture. And if the medication allows me to do that on a daily basis, then I think I might as well give it a shot. Am I being a hypocrite and taking the easy way out? I don't know. But it did allow me to finally finish this video.